Welcome to the annual Only Murders in the Building review, as today's review is focused on the newest season that was released today, episode 1. And before I give out my review, please like and subscribe and comment, follow me. All of my socials are down in the description below, so give it a follow or not. Thank you. When it comes to the first 3 seasons of the show, I think the first 3 seasons have all been good in their own ways, each of them having a crazy, bizarre murder case, shocking discoveries, shocking twists and turns, and just many red herrings that leaves to viewers just wondering that suspect did this, suspect did that. It's just a lot with each season. And with season 4, I think season 4 has the potential to be interesting for a few reasons, which I'm going to explain later on. Episode 1 was entitled Once Upon a Time in the West, as that is the title of a 1968 movie. And that just leaves me wondering if each episode title for this season is going to be focused on a movie title, as episode 2 is entitled Gates of Heaven, which is based off a 1978 documentary. And if that's the case, I like this fact, I like this idea, because I think with each episode title is going to give us like a good idea on what the episode may be about, or what the themes or hidden messages that the episode may carry. As this episode's plot mostly focused on the trio just wondering about what to do next, Hollywood, and as well as with Sazz sadly being the latest victim. As the trio gets an opportunity of a lifetime with Paramount Studios, yes, the real Paramount Studios in real life, is making a movie off the podcast based on the trio and just the podcast, and I have to assume all of the crazy cases that have taken place so far in time. With Charles and Oliver being optimistically excited, Mabel in the meanwhile is just worried for a few reasons. She still doesn't have an apartment to live, and she just doesn't know how to feel about her life being put on screen for the whole world to see. So her worries is very understandable for those reasons. And the actors that have been hired to play the trio are Eugene Levy, Zach Galifianakis, and Eva Longoria. And I can't wait to see what these actors bring into play. I can't wait to see what Hollywood is going to bring into play. As with Hollywood, Hollyweird, there's always something crazy happening with actors, actresses just doing some crazy shenanigans. Sometimes not that bad, but sometimes pretty awful in my opinion. But during this exciting time, Charles is starting to get a little bit worried about Sazz, as she disappeared that night and hasn't been seen ever since. Unbeknown to them that Sazz is sadly now a newspaper. And I do have a few theories about who the killer could possibly be. I think the killer this time around was somebody that was professional, like a professional assassin, hitman type of person, because the fact that they were able to successfully kill Sazz from that distance, that just tells us that they know what they're doing. And I also believe that there is a possibility that there's more than one person involved, because why would the killer shoot Sazz from that distance, then go to the apartment to get rid of her body? I think more than one person was involved this time, like a professional hitman and also an amateur, because all of the evidence that was left behind. I don't know, but it just makes a little bit of sense, right? Like, the killer wouldn't have done all of that just to get rid of the evidence. They had to have had somebody else involved. But during their time in Hollywood, Charles meets Joy's new boyfriend, Scott Bakula, as their interactions is not the best, but not the worst. Bakula seems like a suspicious individual as Joy keeps being brought up. That just leads me to think that Joy might have a hand in this or could possibly know who was responsible, but as mentioned, only time will tell. But Scott mentions a good fact too, that he hasn't seen Sazz for a little while too. That just continues to make Charles extremely worried. Fearful, he and the trio goes back to Sazz's apartment and they're able to break in and to see all of the interesting memorabilia and just the evidence and notes that was left on Sazz's desk. As the question now leaves me to think about what was Sazz trying to tell Charles, because some of the notes on the desk had a lot of information about past incidents at the Arconia from past seasons. I'm wondering, what was she doing? Why was she doing this? What was her end game? I think the killer does know the trio or knows of them, but who did Charles piss off so bad to the point that a professional assassin came after them? Like, who did Charles piss off that bad to the point that a hitman is now after him, saying that they are not their friend, which is very clear, and that this was professional, this was too well of a job. It's just a lot, I'll just say that. But the trio goes back to the Arconia, and I like how with each season there is something new about the Arconia that hasn't been seen before. I don't think the incinerator has been seen in past seasons, and that just leaves me with just more questions about who knows about the incinerator. Has bodies been placed there to get rid of? And sadly, the discovery of Sazz is revealed, and this episode ends on a pretty dark note with that, with how Sazz's body is revealed in ashes, her metal body parts as well too. It's dark, it's a little sad, and that just probably going to have Charles as a bigger motivation to catch this person. As mentioned, I think episode 1 is off to a pretty good start with the many hidden clues, the many discoveries that we're seeing in here, and as well as with my theories, which is that I think more than one person was likely involved with this killing, because I don't see a professional assassin going back to the evidence to take the body and then place at the incinerator. I think somebody was at a different viewpoint, and then the other person was already at the Arconia with Charles's keys and just got rid of the body just to be safe. I think Howard's dog Gravy is going to be an interesting animal to look out for because of their past job and what they were doing as a cadaver, and what they could possibly discover at this Arconia. This Arconia has more answers that will be revealed this season, I think. Hollywood. I can't wait to see what Hollywood has in store. How Hollyweird, or if any one of those new characters has something to do with this murder. But it's just a waiting game. I'm just curious as in how the episode titles are going to be put into play here, and just how things will be absolved. But yeah, episode 1 is off to a good start. I can't wait to see what happens next. So until next time, thank you for watching. See you later.